Luca blinked at the millions and millions of ants crawling around on the ground, over rocks and up trees. Out of nowhere, there appeared on a nearby rock the most beautiful lizard Luca had ever seen. The lizard's skin had red and yellow diamonds. Its smooth and powerful tail was a deep brown. It swiftly glided over to Luca and Johnny on delicate toes. "Well, hello," said Johnny. His push-ups intensified. "I'm Johnny, and this is Luca. I haven't seen you around the ant hill before." "Hello," the lizard said cheerfully. "My name is Giddy Gaga. Have you ever seen such a beautiful warm day?" Luca spit out the ants he was eating. "It sure is warm," he said shyly, "and beautiful." He blinked and swallowed, and to his surprise, did a push-up. Giddy Gaga grinned at Luca. "Looking good, little lizard. Mind if I have some ants?" "Not at all. Plenty to go around," Luca replied. He paused and then said, "Are you an egg layer?" "Dude," Johnny exclaimed, "not cool." Luca blinked and looked back and forth at them. Sorry. What I meant to say is, what are your pronouns?" Giddy Gaga looked warmly at Luca and said, "Pronouns are fine, but I like verbs." Giddy Gaga did a little twirl from head to tail, ran over to a ponderosa pine, and in a flash was up the tree, higher than Luca had ever seen a lizard go. Luca wanted to shout, "Go, Giddy Gaga, go!" But all he could do was stick his tongue out and in, quickly, several times, to express his enthusiasm. Luca quickly lizard crawled over to the pine tree and ran part way up, but Giddy Gaga had disappeared. He thought of going further up and briefly remembered what his mother had warned. But he was feeling warm, which gave him energy, and he had eaten plenty of ants. Luca stuck his tongue out and in several times, and then, pow! He ran straight up the tree as fast as he could. 5, 10, 20 feet. Luca came face to face with a squirrel. They stared at each other for a second, and then the squirrel scolded Luca, ran along a branch, and leaped from the pine to an oak tree. Luca rolled his eyes, as only a lizard can, and said, "Okay, squirrel, you do you." He went higher and higher up the tree. It all looked the same as the bottom of the tree: bark, knots, branches, and ants, which he gulped down when he felt like it. But he started to feel cold. Luca stopped, and without thinking, did a half a dozen push-ups. He climbed another 5 feet, but went slower and slower. And there was no sign of Giddy Gaga. Luca stopped and looked up. The tree seemed to go for miles and miles. There was no end. Suddenly, his eyes closed. His feet let go of the bark, and he felt himself tumbling backwards. When he opened his eyes, he was surrounded by Mother, Johnny, and Giddy Gaga. "What happened?" Luca asked. His mother explained, "When you went that high up the tree, your body temperature got too low for a young lizard like you. Giddy Gaga saw you and caught you by wrapping their tail around you, and then carried you down to the ground." Luca got up on his feet and blinked. "Cool," he said. His mother frowned. "Giddy Gaga said, 'You went higher than I ever go. I was on the other side of the tree, and you zipped right past me.'" "Well, I won't do that again," Luca replied. "It's not much different high up than on the bottom of the tree." Everything I need is right here, close to the ground. Giddy Gaga smiled. That's true, but I do love to climb, just not too high. Giddy Gaga ran up the white stucco side of the rock castle, onto the gray scales on top of it, and then was out of sight. Luca crawled with his family to their home under the big rock. He stopped and looked back at the world beyond and thought, there are many more adventures to have tomorrow. The end.
The kids are going back. As you journey up.
Love and peace be with you. Love and peace be with you. As you go. As you go.
One of the core values of our congregation is caring for each other. And it is so important to us that we make it a part of every Sunday morning ritual. It is foundational as we care for each other to know each other's stories. And one of the ways we do this is to know the stories that are fullest in your heart on any given Sunday. When we come together as a community to honor all the ups and downs of our lives, we strengthen the bonds that unite us as a loving community. All of us hold within our hearts both joys and sorrows, some of which we share out loud and some of which we hold silently. We have a book that we keep in the foyer that you are welcome to write in any time. We do ask that you, if you're writing about someone else, that they know, because we talk about them in public. So it's important to do that. We don't have anything in the book, but I have a great joy to share. My middle daughter, Haley, got engaged yesterday. She's been dating her boyfriend for 5 years, and he took her on a camping trip, had friends hide in the woods so they could take pictures. And they're camping, and she is over the top joy, and so are we, because he's a wonderful young man. So before we proceed any further, we have a special presentation for you with Leah Florence and John Bowman and David Marcus.
The third act of Thornton Wilder's Pulitzer Prize-winning play about a fictional town in the United States in the early 1900s is titled Death and Eternity. In this scene, Emily, played by Leah Florence, is a young woman who recently died in childbirth. She speaks from her grave in the town graveyard to the stage manager, played by John Bowman, the omniscient and nameless narrator of the play.
But one can go back there again, into the living. I feel it. I know it. Why, just for a moment, I was thinking about the farm, and for a minute I was there. And I can go back there, and I can live all those days over again. But it's true, isn't it? I can go back and live back there again.
Yes, some have tried, but soon they come back here.
No, but I won't live over a sad day. I'll choose a happy one.
Yes?
I'll choose the day I first I knew that I loved George. Why should that be painful?
You not only live it, but you watch yourself living it.
Yes.
And as you watch, you see the thing that they down there never know. You see the future. You know what's going to happen afterwards. Choose the least important day of your life. It will be enough.
Then it can't be since I was married, or since the baby was born. I can choose a birthday at least, can't I? I choose my 12th birthday.
All right. February 11th, 1899, a Tuesday. Do you want a special time of day?
Oh, I want the whole day.
Ah, we'll begin at dawn.
Emily walks amongst the townspeople who are starting their day, the milkman, the constable, her parents. She sees her mother and father in their family home and watches herself receive a birthday gift from her mother. Young George, her future husband, has left a gift for her on the doorstep of their house.
Mama, I'm here. I'm all grown up. I love you all. Everything. Oh, God, I can't look at everything hard enough. Good morning, Mama. Mama. Oh, just look at me. Just 1 minute. As though you really saw me. I can't go on. It all goes so fast. We don't have time to look at one another. I didn't realize all that was going on, and we never noticed. Take me back to the hill, to my grave. No, wait, just one more look. Goodbye. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, Grover's farm, Grover's corner. Mama, Papa. Goodbye, clocks ticking. Mama's sunflowers. Food. Oh, goodbye, coffee. Newly ironed dresses. Oh, hot baths. And sleeping. Waking up. Oh, Earth. You're too wonderful for anyone to realize. Do any humans realize life while they're living it? Every minute?
No. The saints and poets, maybe. They do some.
I'm ready to go back.
Pastoral song this morning. I just recently learned this song, and it was was written by the same woman that wrote How Can Anyone Ever Tell You? Her name is Libby Roderick. And that is probably one of her most favorite songs. But when I heard this song and we were doing the service today, it said to me about a more global feeling that even here in the United States, with everything that we are going through, other people have been through it around the world, and there are a lot of people around the world that are with us, that know where we're at, that know our trauma. And I think one of the ways we survive this trauma is to not forget that we are not fighting power and greed alone, that there are millions and millions and millions of people through both our current time and our histories that have done that work. And so this song for me speaks to the fact that we aren't alone when we do this. It is called The Cradle of Dawn. To sleep, welcome the night. I will be here in the morning light. Slip into dreams, you've done all that you can. I'll hold you here in the dawn. Sunset in your country, sunrise in mine. Lay down your body, feel mine begin to rise. Sunset in my country, sunrise in yours. I feel you here in the dawn. Forces facing us are terrible indeed. My hope may flicker through the night, but in the morning I will plant another seed. While you sleep, it seeks the light. To sleep, welcome the night. I will be here in the morning light. Slip into dreams, you've done all that you can. I'll hold you here in the dawn. Sunset in your country, sunrise in mine. Lay down your body, feel mine begin to rise. Sunset in my country, sunrise in yours. I feel you there in the dawn. There are no promises that we will see the day. The dreams we live for will succeed. But I can promise you that we will see the day. But I can promise you that halfway around the world, I'll hold the light up while you sleep. We need a quiet place to let our spirits be, somewhere that we are safe from harm. So my beloveds, as the moonbeams touch the sea, rest in the cradle of the dawn. To sleep, light.
don't like that.
Be here in the morning light.
Either.
To dreams you've done all that you can. I'll hold you here in the dawn. Sunset in your country, sunrise in mine. Down your body, feel light to rise. Sunset in my country, sunrise in yours. I feel you there in the dawn. Rest in the cradle of the dawn.
When I started preparing for this service, I was at first confused by Emerson's idea that the pace of nature is slow. In a broader geological sense, mountains, rivers, and oceans change slowly over millions of years. Large turtles have been known to live for 500 years, and our ponderosa pines here in the foothills can live for hundreds of years. But around my house in the country outside of Grass Valley, the wildlife moves pretty fast. Here are some of the exciting but infrequent visitors: bears, bats, and coyotes. I walked out onto the deck once and found a red-tailed fox stretched out on a lounge chair. It quickly jumped off and ran downstairs and into the forest before I could get a picture. On almost a daily basis, we are treated to the antics of the following: squirrels, hares, and deer. Next, turkeys. Lots of turkeys. The hares can be very spirited. I admit that I am picky about creatures that I will get close to, even given the diseases that can be spread by ticks, fleas, poop, feathers, and fur. They're fine at a distance out in the yard, and as you saw, can be a source of great amusement, but I would prefer that they don't come too close to the house. Nonetheless, my feelings get hurt when I'm minding my own business, going about my day, taking out the trash, going for a walk, and there's a sudden flurry of animals getting out of my path. Birds stop their bath and fly away. Lizards and squirrels run under bushes or up trees. Deer getting a drink stop and prance into the forest. The second I mention deer to anybody, most people scowl and say, well, good riddance, considering the damage they can do to our gardens. In this case, there was no permanent damage. We don't have a vegetable garden. We get to share our neighbors next door. And for the most part, the deer just graze on grass and eat acorns. Sometimes they stand on their hind legs and chew a branch off our mimosa tree. I don't mind. Free tree trimming. So I don't chase the deer away. Next. Recently, I've been experimenting with matching their pace. One day I was walking down to the cul-de-sac where we have to get our mail, and there were a half dozen deer in the field along the driveway. Their eyes and ears perked up, ready for fight or flight. I stopped in my tracks. I knew if I just kept walking down the driveway, they would run away. So I thought to myself, well, maybe they won't run away if I can make myself be as calm as a deer. I slowed way down, relaxed my neck and shoulders, and visualized grounding my energy into my legs and feet. I focused on slow, quiet breathing and not making eye contact with the deer. I calmly walked at a slow pace past them. After 50 feet, I gradually resumed my normal pace and looked back. The deer just looked at me and continued eating. They didn't run. On one of the evenings in August during a recent heat wave, I thought I might go out and relax on our back patio. Temperature was still in the 90s at 7 p.m. I had a vodka tonic. I was going to go out and sit and listen to music. I could see through the glass door that there were 4 deer, at least one with an impressive rack of antlers lying in our meadow. This photo is from a different time, but with a similar view. So before I opened the door, I thought again, as calm as a deer. I dropped my energy, slowed my breathing, and kept my eyes down. I walked out onto the patio and made my way to a chair that wasn't directly facing them. I relaxed into the chair and savored the heat. My breathing was quiet. The ice cubes in my drink were silent. Not only did the deer not run away, they settled in. The buck lay back and rolled his antlers in the grass. Others followed suit. I didn't play music, but was content with my drink and my thoughts, not looking much at the deer, but feeling one with nature, one of the guys. I reflected that part of being as calm as a deer was to focus on breathing that was quiet, calm, and non-intrusive. I think of this as shallow breathing, in contrast to deep breathing that may have an intentional, audible exhalation. We are often asked to take a deep breath to release stress and to relax. But shallow breathing can also be relaxing. As I get older, I am more inclined to use it to nip stress and panic in the bud, instead of getting all worked up and needing to take deep breaths. In communion with the deer, I felt like this shallow breathing put me in a state where my heart was gentle and open to accept and appreciate nature, love, and life. After 10 or 15 minutes, I was ready to be less contemplative and vulnerable. I wanted to return to air conditioning and breathing normally. I maintained a state of calm as I slowly stood and walked to the door and into the house. I looked back through the window, and the deer were still lying down, enjoying their peaceful moments together. Exactly what I wanted to see.
Love is all around us. We just might not always see it in the same way. They say that love is patient, love is kind. Really? I have found many experiences in life where love has been anything but patient or kind. For love, like nature, is highly complex. Love has no guidelines, no rule book. Love has been studied and dissected from all aspects by scientists, psychiatrists, theologians, and the average human. Every musician contemplates love. Every poet contemplates love. Every writer contemplates love. And none can really tell you how it works, why it exists. But just as we know wind exists, even though we never see it, we know the same for love. For love, in its deep and vast complexity, is everything and everywhere in what we do. We often think that love, with quotations, is that one thing that two people seek in one another. For seeking that connection, the souls touching to forge potentially a new relationship, that while that is two, the love of one another can merge two people together to create one encompassing love, separate from the two people that are loving beings. But that is only the most prominent love that exists in our human experience. For love wears many faces. Love lives in kindness. Love lives in compassion. Love lives in understanding. But love also lives in anger. It lives in disappointment. It lives in punishment and guidance and in the management of others. Because love in its vastness is that powerful, unseen force that lives in every human being, capable of creating both great change, great joy, and sometimes our greatest sorrow. Just like nature, it envelops all that exists within. Now, nature does not speak to us in the ways of love, but it offers its embrace as well as its challenges. For love, like nature, can both build with the new as it can destroy. The difference, however, is that to our knowledge, nature just is. Its pace is set by science. Its pace is natural and both predictable and unpredictable. And love is like that too, in that I believe that love is natural to us as creatures on this planet. I believe it is inherent in every human being. We want it, we need it, we cannot live without it. The difference is we have a certain power over love. We get to determine how and when we wish to share it, but we have no power over how it is received by others. Because of our intelligence, our innate desire to understand, we sometimes think love is a thing we control. But like the weather, we do not. All we can do is keep it at our center. Let it guide us through our thoughts and our actions. We can set the pace for love in ourselves, our loved ones, and those on the other side of the world. Remember, you have the unique ability to control your own pace. So like nature, when you consider love, step into it. Smell the roses sometimes. Be wild with love, or sit patiently with it. Sit patiently with yourself whenever love is in turmoil. And be kind to yourself. Love will always be there for you. Let it be the other type of nature that you live in. May it be so.
This month, our Share the Plate recipient partner is the Unity for Equality Endowment Fund. This fund is a new endowment through the Placer Community Foundation. It was established to support the well-being of LGBTQ plus people in the greater Placer County region in response to the critical issues raised daily around the tremendous barriers to social services, social justice, and economic life in our diverse communities. You can choose to share 50-50, donate 100% to our Share the Plate recipient, or choose to offer 100% to our operational budget. While we're taking the offering, I'd like to share a song written and performed by my late friend Tad Toomey about the patience of love.
Staring up into a sleepless night, So alone without a hope inside, and still beyond the doubt and need. Love is waiting patiently. When the anger fills your eyes with flame, at the cruelty done in your name, beyond despair, disbelief. Love is waiting patiently. Like poppies in the spring, open up and let it in. Let the light into your wounded heart. Let it turn you into what you really are. A blazing star. In the colors of the morning sky, in the eyes of just one passerby, a gift, a sign, a way to be. Love is waiting patiently.
Please join me in reciting this response to the giving and receiving of the offering. Generosity is our deepest value. From these gifts, may all find hope, may all find home, and may all be well.
We're going to take a quick second for a couple of quick announcements. SFUU 101 is returning with a single one session Sunday after the service, and that's going to be on October 12th. If you're newer to Unitarian Universalism or newer to SFUU and you want to know more about both of those topics, that's what SFUU 101 is about. It'll be with the minister, some folks from our membership committee, and it's just an opportunity to visit, ask questions, and deeper your connection with us. So even if you've been here for a long time, you can say, hey, I'm ready for SFUU 102. So anyone is welcome to join. It's October 12th, right after the service here in the sanctuary. Secondly, on the following Sunday, October the 19th, here in the sanctuary at 11:30, we're going to have the first session of a new adult religious exploration series on world religions. This curriculum will follow what our children are learning in the RE program this year and giving our classroom volunteers ample information to thrive in the program, and it will help our members feel connected to what our children are learning while we are here on Sundays. So you are invited to join that. The last announcement I have, and I don't have a sign-up sheet, and I know it conflicts with No King's Day, but we are going to have a table at the Auburn Harvest Festival. It is a huge fall festival in the park over at ARD. So it is purely a presence, sharing our presence in the community event. I will be there all day, but we're looking for some other folks to come and help. And the CYRE is going to provide us with some sort of a craft or activity that anyone that stops by the table, if they want to do some little fun thing, which is kind of what the fair is about. But if you go to No King's Day is 11 to 12:30 at Target. Come on by the park afterwards, walk around. It's a really great fair. It's a huge turnout in Auburn, so it seems like a really great outreach opportunity for us. So if you're interested in on Saturday, the 18th of October. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me, let me know. Now, if you're willing to rise and sing one more time, we are going to sing For the Beauty of the Earth. It is number 21 in your hymnal.
Our benediction today comes from the Gray Hymnal, and it's from the Isaiah 55. For you shall go out in joy and be led back in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall burst into song, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. And as we go forth, may we carry the flame of love and peace with justice until we meet again. Blessed be.